What's up, the world? I know y'all ain't seen me in a while. Obviously, y'all got lives. I got lives, so y'all can understand it. But being honest, being real, I just had to speak on this whole, Los Angeles Laker thing, because I think it's the biggest load of shit. I'm so tired. As a Lakers fan, I am not, right? I don't give a shit about the Lakers, right? I don't care who wins. I love this basketball season. I love the Warriors. I love the only team I like is the Warriors. The Suns, in my opinion, are the Suns. I mean, it's like they're the only team that really hasn't been totally destroyed by COVID. So it's hard to gauge them really, because everybody else is going through injuries. And all I'm saying is, when you get to the playoffs, I don't pick the Suns to win the West. I don't pick them to win anything. This is what people don't understand. This is what gets under my skin so much as a basketball fan, because people don't understand shit, right? Okay. What people don't get about the difference between the regular seasons and the playoff is you're playing the same team back to back to back to back. You can immediately fix mistakes or little advantages they have in a series. So it comes down to who really has the better team. It doesn't come down to it comes down to matchup and adjustments. It does not come down to who has the teams that can do the most, right? Regular season is completely different, right? You can't practice, you can't prepare, you can't adjust, because you play them once and you might not play them again for another 2 or 3 months or 2 or 3 weeks. You're not playing. You're trying to get chemistry so that you can beat everybody. You're not trying to get chemistry so you can beat one team. And that's the difference between the NBA regular season and the NBA playoff. That's why when you look at the Lakers are a team that is going to be hard to beat in a 7-game series. They're not a hard team to beat when Avery Bradley's out, Austin Reeves is out, freaking Malik Monk just got back, Dwight Howard just got back. Freaking everybody, they don't have Anthony Davis. They're not a hard team to beat when they don't got none of their players. So to sit around here and try to say, the Lakers is not a thing of chemistry. Are you retarded? It's absolutely a thing with chemistry. Offensively, you don't need chemistry. Defensively, you need to have chemistry. The difference between why the Nets were good beat the Lakers last night was because the Nets had chemistry on defense. They had roles. They understood what they were supposed to be doing. The Lakers did not. And then people talking about Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook has been playing his ass off. Anybody who is stupid enough to sit there and look at the situation and say Russell Westbrook is killing the Lakers, you're a fucking idiot, okay? Russell Westbrook is not killing the Lakers. He's one of the few reasons why they're able to compete. He tried to dunk the ball. Why the hell wouldn't he try to dunk the ball? He had a clear way, and he barely missed the shot. It was a good play by Claxton to not give up on the play, so he was able to contend just enough that Russell Westbrook had to pull it back a little further. That was it. Other than that, if 2 inches, Russell Westbrook y'all would have been on his dick. That's why it blows me away about people, right? They want somebody to blame. Oh, it's Russell Westbrook. Ain't no damn Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's playing his ass off. That man, it's plenty of games. Well, LeBron with James go to the bench. They're losing by 10 points, and Russell Westbrook will single-handedly bring them back. He's done that in many games. The problem with the Lakers is not no damn Russell Westbrook. The problem with the Lakers is they don't have a big man. They don't have a big man that can protect the rim. And they do have a big man in Dwight Howard, but he was gone for a month. So they can't sub him back in right now. And without they got to work the chemistry. So they're losing games with the big man on the field because both DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard have been in and out of the lineup because of COVID and injury. So none of their big man they have chemistry with. So what do? They play LeBron at the 5 because most of the time they try to come out with the big to prevent people from getting to the rim, but they can't because they don't have no chemistry with them. So they end up putting the bigs in a bad spot. So their best bet a lot of times is to go to the small ball lineup, which works to an extent. But when teams do what the Nets did, and they start to pick and roll you with the big guy, LeBron James, when LeBron James is playing the 5, they can stop teams. That's why they go on runs. But the problem is when you take LeBron James out, there ain't nobody else who can do what LeBron James is. LeBron is not the tallest, as tall as the big guys, but he's as strong as they are, and his leaping ability helps him make up for the height disparity. So he can play that position. You can't put Carmelo Anthony there. As strong as Carmelo Anthony is, he's not as athletic. So he's giving up inches, and as strong and powerful as Carmelo is, he cannot do what LeBron James does in that position. He's good at the 4, he's not good at the 5. So you can't do that with Carmelo Anthony. Yes, he stretches the field, but you cannot do that with Carmelo Anthony with LeBron James off the floor. They work perfect when him and LeBron are on the floor. They don't work as well when LeBron James is off and Carmelo is on. Anybody with some, I need to stop saying that, because maybe it's just common sense to me because I understand basketball, but the average person doesn't understand basketball, so you have to explain shit to them. Like, it's not Russell Westbrook, okay? The problem is you cannot have Austin Reeves starting one game, Avery Bradley starting one game, Wayne Ellington starting one game. They have no chemistry with the big man. Most of the time, the two guards and the big man work in concert on defense. You can't have a different big man and a different shooting guard. Their best bet is to put Avery Bradley starting in that position. That's what they do the best, when Avery Bradley was there. But Avery Bradley got hit with the COVID protocol, so he was out, so he couldn't play. So at the time that they went on that 3-game win streak, that's when they had Austin Reeves and Avery Bradley. And Anthony Davis wasn't even playing then when they went on that streak, right? That was because they had consistent play from their guards, right? LeBron, Westbrook, and Avery Bradley, and when they would switch in, it would be Austin Reeves. Now you got Isaiah Thomas, you got this guy, you got that guy, you got freaking Darren Collison. It's like it's all over the place. You cannot build any chemistry between the big man. Relies on the 2 guard and the 3, right? You can't have Trevor Ariza in one game and he's going for 3 games. You cannot do that. Okay, they got to develop some chemistry by playing with each other. And if COVID keeps knocking one of them out every other game, they're never going to be able to get no chemistry. And I just think that people are too stupid to get that. So when LeBron James says, everybody's dealing with, we're dealing with the injuries. Oh, he's trying to say that the Golden State Warriors ain't dealing with no injuries. Be smart, okay? The Golden State Warriors are nowhere near being hit the same way other teams are being hit. Okay, I don't know if it's a conspiracy situation because they always trying to build shit for Steph Curry. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that. I don't give a shit because I enjoy it. I like watching the Warriors. I love watching Steph Curry. So if they're cheating for him, whatever. The point I'm trying to say is that maybe they're just to compare the Warriors organization to the Lakers organization is a laughing stock. The Warriors. They just, you know what I'm saying, they know what they're doing. Yeah, they had the bad years, the 2 bad years with Clay gone, but in those bad years they rebuilt. And yes, they're like, oh, they don't have Jordan Poole. I'm like, dude, please. The Warriors are loaded, okay? They don't give a shit about losing Jordan Poole and Damian Lee. It's like, how you compare the importance of Avery Bradley, Austin Reeves, Malik Monk to Damian Lee? And now Jordan Poole has been playing well this year, but he's a backup 3 guy. I mean, you still got Steph, you still got Brandon Wiggins, you still got Gary Payton Jr., you still got Draymond, you still got all the players, Iggy, you still got all these, and Iggy is not even that big of a deal. So he's up and like, okay, they naming these people like they're as important to their success as the other one. Damian Lee is not as important to the Warriors as Avery Bradley or Malik Monk is to the Lakers, because they need them, right? They basically in this COVID, they took away all their good 3-point shooters. Almost every good 3-point shooter on their team, good 3-point shooting guard on their team, they removed them. They said they put them out because of COVID, which made sense, because if you're going to do that, the people who are going to be practicing together are probably the people who shoot a lot. They're probably going to be the ones that are in the gym shooting more because they're shooters. So that would make more sense why those people would end up being on the COVID list. Problem with that is you're hurting the Lakers now. Now they have to rely on Wayne Ellington, who's a good shooter, but teams know he's the only shooter on the court most of the time outside of Melo, who Melo is not. They know that they just have to come out most of the time and stick to Melo. Melo's not going to be running under screens. He's not going to be doing what Wayne Ellington, Malik Monk, you know what I'm saying, Avery Bradley's going to be doing. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a, Melo's more of a post, he can take you to the post, he can take you off the dribble, yes. But Melo is not going to be running on the screens and doing all the stuff that the little two guards are going to be doing. So they don't worry about him as much. Westbrook shot was falling for a little bit. Nice, you know, it's just getting bad. And I just hate that Lakers fans do that, because every time they do that, then you start to see Russ being more hesitant to shoot. And I hate when that happens because it affects their entire offense, right? Westbrook, you got to learn to take the good with the bad. He's going to make mistakes. That's Westbrook. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to run into double teams. He's going to do that. That's what Russell Westbrook does. But way more times that he messes up, the 4 or 5 times he messes up does not account for the 30 or 40 times that he ends up getting an assist or points or offensive rebounds or something like that. So it's like okay, we're gonna worry about the 5 or 6 turnovers when we lose, but we ain't gonna worry about the 5 or 6 turnovers when the guy's giving you freaking 28 points, 13 assists. Like, come on, how that work? So we gonna act like we care more about 5 or 6 mistakes over 20, 40 good plays. It's like, come on, man. Like, I just get so sick and tired of unfair treatment, unfair analogies, unfair assessments. Respect what is going on. Is Russell Westbrook going to make mistakes, and does he make some dumb decisions that nobody should make sometimes? Yes, but so does LeBron. So does freaking Steph Curry. So does every player in the league. Every player in the league does that. But the first thing people want to do is, because he's an easy target and he's not going to have any defenders, is throw Russell Westbrook under the bus. And I get so tired of that junk, man. LeBron James is playing his ass off, but so is Russell Westbrook. Westbrook is playing his ass off. And to throw it on him when they're playing small ball, where he's leading the team, him and LeBron are leaders in rebounds, and they're not getting no rebounds when people are moving out the way. These guys are going in there fighting for rebounds with guys 3 or 4 inches, 30, 40 pounds heavier than they are. And those are the rebounders, right? So it's a respect thing that makes no sense to me. Why do they attack Russell Westbrook so harshly? And then you turn around to a guy like Steph Curry, who does nothing but shoot, and they throw all the praise in the world on it. It blows my mind. And once again, it comes down to, it's just me bitching about my gripe against the majority versus the minority. It's a perspective. Russell Westbrook has a skill set that not many people on the planet, if you're probably not black, are going to look to think your kid can become that. Steph Curry has a skill set that you think your kid can one day become. So therefore, he needs to be protected at all costs. He's the Larry Bird type guy that gets that makes the white guys and the Spanish guys and the Asian guys and the guys who are not as athletic as the black guys say, we could beat him. So the NBA needs him for marketing purposes, and I understand that. Not that he ain't no dope player, not that he's not a bad boy, not that he's not a great all-around player. Steph Curry has turned himself into clear-cut MVP this year. I don't think there's anybody even close. They can say Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant ain't doing what Steph is doing, right? The East is weak as hell. I mean, the East is weak. The freaking Cavs are like in 4th place. It's like they are weak as hell. It's a terrible conference, right? The Nets have no business being at the top of that conference. Everybody else just sucks. So they're at the top because everybody else is going through protocols and all this, and they're going through protocol. It's like the season hasn't even really started yet because all this COVID shit. So you watch it, which is another thing all itself. But you watch this and it's like, come on. KD is a bad boy once again. And would I put him in the MVP conversation? Yes. He's not doing what Steph is doing. Okay? Steph is doing crazy shit. Right? And if you take Steph off the Warriors, they are not that team. Right? And you take KD off the Nets, they're not that team either. But they're better than the Warriors are without Steph Curry. Right? If you take Steph Curry off the Nets, off the Warriors, I doubt they're even a 500 team. You take KD off the Nets, you still got James Harden. You know what I'm saying? You still got a upbeat, offense that runs up and down. It's more of the offensive system than it is the player. So you can still see how a player can still be dominant in that system. The Warriors they shoot a lot of threes, but Steph is the one shooting it. He is the system. So, you got to respect the players because the Warriors are a system. They run a good system, but the system is built upon Steph Curry. If you don't have somebody who can do what Steph Curry does, then the whole system falls apart. So I think he's the most valuable player. But that aside, it's like they give, because he is legitimately good and he has a skill set that most people who are not uber talented or uber tall or uber strong and fast, they can look at that and say, I want my kid to be him. So the NBA overmarkets him. And it just starts to get a little crazy when everybody else starts to get hit with this COVID, but magically the Warriors only lose in bit players that don't really matter. They're 8th and 9th guy off the bench. It's like, now we're starting to get to a point where we're going to have to start to give y'all a side eye about this shit. Because it is kind of weird that the poster boy, y'all biggest marketing tool, crazily, his team isn't being affected as much as everybody else's team. It's just crazy. It's a question you gotta ask. I don't give a shit how you look at it. But I don't care. I don't want the Warriors to be taken out, and I can't wait. Once again, I can't wait till Clay gets back. Can't wait for Clay to get back so I can watch them in the full glory, and that Lakers and Warriors matchup is gonna be crazy. And in the East, I can't wait to see that Heat Nets matchup. That shit gonna be crazy. I told you the Bucks was gonna fall back to earth. I never thought they were that good of a team. I thought they were a product of, once again, injury riddled off season. I don't think this season is that, and I think the Lakers are gonna be fine. I think the Lakers just need some more chemistry. Once they get Austin Reeves, that normal baby. Isaiah Thomas was a great pickup for them, but he just did not fit. He did not fit for what they needed. You know what I'm saying? He would fit better with the Clippers. Or maybe like a team that needs scoring. You know what I'm saying? Boston even would be a good fit for Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying? To give them a spark off the bench, or even when one of Jalen or Tatum can't go. He's a good player. He's still a good player. But it just wasn't a good fit for him. You know what I'm saying? They need too much help defensively to bring in another offensive player when they're not really in need of offensive talent right now. So that's a big one. But Isaiah Thomas, they really didn't need. This kid they picked up, Stanley Johnson, I think is going to help them a lot when they play in a small ball lineup, just like Avery Bradley was doing. And when Avery Bradley gets back and he's healthy, I think that they'll be able to play him, and you'll see the difference in the way they play when they have a true on-ball defender at the guard position, which frees up the rest of them, and you ain't got to have them coming off their players and switching when you got a player who can stay with them. Johnson did a real good job of that last game, and if they keep him in, I think the Lakers are going to turn it around. And when AD gets back with a kid who can be a great on-the-ball defender that is not leaving AD on islands, I think they're going to do well. So if you're a Warrior fan, a Lakers fan, I would tell you calm down. Wait on it. It's not, I promise you, they're going to be all right. All right? Everything I've seen so far has shown me they got the talent to be a good team. Only thing that I would say is the chemistry. They don't got no defensive chemistry because they have not had time to work with each other. And if you want to panic and start blaming Russell Westbrook, they need to trade. You're an idiot. There's no other way to say it. You are a moron. Russell Westbrook being traded is stupid. The guy's busting his ass, and these games wouldn't be nowhere near close if Russell Westbrook wasn't there. Anyways, please let me know what y'all think. Comment, Subscribe if you not subscribe, and like it, and hit that notification to get our jump. Peace.